285. Zach Sheaffer, University of Pittsburgh, EWL champ in 2005. The defending champ, Mike Spaid from Bloomsburg, Yeomanville, District 1, Boyertown. First Bloomberg All-American last year in 13 years, 14 pins last year.
A little bit of a flurry there.
I actually was hyping this earlier. I think this could live up to the hype.
Yeah, no, both of them do a pretty good job, stay in good position, have some quickness to both of them, little athletic ability. So we saw a little bit in that flurry there. Spaid, obviously the bigger of the two.
Spaid with a decision 7-3 of Dustin Rogers of West Virginia. And a major decision of Roman Hussam of Clarion. Sheaffer dusted Richard Goff 5-1. Richard Goff, excuse me, from Cleveland State.
Sheaffer working on that underhook to that side. One of the challenges here at heavyweight, people look, this is the part where you go, geez, it looks like they're just leaning on one another. It's not really like that. They are trying to work some angles and do some of those things, but it's not like at 125. When you go to move somebody that's 250, 260, they just don't move very easily. So you have to, and the shots are another thing. When you get underneath somebody, you can generate a lot more power at some of those lower weights. When you get under somebody 275 pounds, that's a lot of force. I didn't do real great in physics, but that's a lot of force that you're generating and dealing with down there.
Well, plus also, the mental, hanging in there, you wear out. I mean, we've talked all night long just how long 3 minutes can be in the opening period. 7 minutes overall if it goes the distance.
And one of the things you watch, heavyweights probably more than almost every other weight class, is sometimes they get a little too focused on trying not to make mistakes, because those mistakes can lead to quick losses. Sometimes one takedown in these matches is pretty much the match. So because they're not easy to get in and around and things along those lines. Now some of the guys who've been dominant in the heavyweight category, and even guys through the league like Kurt Engels and things and guys along those lines, Kurt is not the biggest guy, was not the biggest heavyweight in the world, but did a great job of staying in good position and using his quickness, and became a national champion as a result of that. So you still have to go after people regardless of the weight class that you're in.
Boy, picking outstanding wrestler tonight, that is not going to be an easy chore whatsoever. I think it might be between Jared King at 165, Keith Gavin at Pitt, who really had a tough match with Chance Litton of West Virginia, winning that 7-3 at 174. Obviously, Gregor Gillespie is going to get a lot of action at 157, being the defending national champion. Nobody brings in a brighter resume to this fray than he does.
Now you're exactly right. You try to think of somebody who's been pretty dominant throughout the whole tournament, and those are the guys that you look at right there for the most part.
Edinburgh's going to win the team championship. 10th time in 11 years they've done that. Penn State won everyone between 82 and 92, then joined the Big Ten, and then Edinburgh's kind of taken over the mantle.
Yes, they have, and that was some of those transitions there and shift in power in the Eastern Wrestling League. And anytime there's a vacuum, somebody's got to step to the forefront. And not only is Edinburgh just kind of filled in there, they've done well not only within the league but also on the national level, as has some of the other programs. West Virginia has had some good success there, and Pitt has had some success there from time to time, and occasionally Bloomsburg's, Lock Haven's have as well. And Clarion, Cleveland State are still working to rebuild some programs. So.
Well, we said Lock Haven. What are we looking at? They're taking Ashnall, rather, a 133. C's at 125. We just talked about Hepburn at 197. They've got a shot at large with Fittery at 149. If they choose, he's one of the 12.
Sheaffer in on a nice single leg. And people are going to say, were they out? Were they out? No, because all one supporting comes in, and Sheaffer has himself a takedown. Did a nice job. Points to his headgear right away.
Well, Tony, you know that blue line right there, that's just like a touch line in football. If your foot's there, you can score, even though your opponent would be out of bounds.
Yeah, all it takes is one supporting point. So an arm, a foot, a leg, a knee, just of one of you to be in bounds, and that helps people score. You know, and I think what that's helped is the officials trying to call those things on the boundary so much, and it's really difficult to do that. And I think this rule has really helped them a lot in that way. There's a nice single leg, and he keeps some good pressure there with his hip, and you know, Spaid just cannot get back up and pressure into him, and Sheaffer does a nice job of just keeping moving around the corner and getting himself a takedown. See, heavyweights don't sit around the corner very well like they do in those other weight classes.
Exactly.
There's a lot to sit around when you do that, and it's not quite as easy.
Well, they've got a plug up the nose right there of Sheaffer. Not like a good cup man, right?
No, exactly. Whoa.
Wow. Kaboom.
That was a nice lift. That was a real nice lift. That'd make Bruce Baumgartner proud. Seeing those big guys
having
get
Bruce
up there.
on with him earlier. When he shakes your hand, Bruce, it disappears.
Yes, he does. A very, very thick, stocky man. There's no doubt about that.
One of the all-time greats, wrestling royalty in Pennsylvania. And boy, doesn't that say everything you need to know. One of the all-time greats. Athletic director at Edinburgh. And well, let's look. Big fellas. Sheaffer, it's 3-1 as we've got 2 minutes to wrestle here.
He's done a nice job. He gets his hip up in the air and does what the lightweights do. But you know what? When the guy's 270 pounds and he hits the mat, much louder sound.
A couple of tables shook.
Yeah, that's right.
We're ready to go. Sheaffer's on top. Sheaffer looks to have all the momentum, looks to be in control. Spaid is just, he's got to figure a way to get out of there. What are they doing here?
I called it potentially dangerous. Might have had something to do with the way Spaid's fingers were caught in the mat. Maybe, I'm not real sure. I didn't see that very well. Caution on the bottom. Lock those hands a little prematurely. Yep. Well, it just goes to tell you it's about positioning and leverage. If you get yourself in good position, you can pop anybody up in the air, regardless of how big and heavy they happen to be.
Well, Spaid again stayed in front. That's why he didn't give up points there.
Right. Sheaffer now working that high half.
1-point escape.
3-2 match. Now he's up to a minute and 18 riding time is Sheaffer. So
it's really a 4-2. He's got that in the bank. Oh, it goes on.
Yeah, we got a lot of time left, so you know
still some work to be done.
Spaid though needs to generate some offense. And some of the challenge he's having is Sheaffer's kind of staying in front of him, and he's putting his head right under his chin, so he's kind of blocking him out, staying in a pretty decent position, and is not allowing Spaid to work those corners as much as he would like to. Trying that collar tie, keep his head right in the same spot. And he's basically saying is if I can stay in there, I can't give you any space to maneuver, and I got a pretty good shot of not being taken down. Now that point does come up on the board with under 15 seconds left. Hello. That's why you don't have open cans and bottles of water, you know, cups of water sitting on those things, because, man, that was a shot. Warning for stalling, but I think that's going to be the end of it.
And we've got a winner. Sheaffer. Zach Sheaffer knocks off the defending champ at 285, Mike Spares.